A very, very important question. And I think, see, in any service business and possibly travel more than most, people are the most valuable resource, right? It's really where the repository of knowledge and experience comes to play. Tour managers, for example, know some of the countries they operate in better than many locals. So that's not expertise that can be replaced easily. It's not expertise that can be trained in a classroom. You can't get a degree in expertise in local conditions. So uh, this is crucial, and therefore the people point is that important. Um, I think we've been blessed in that between the combination of the leadership brand and the culture and the leadership of the team and the fact that the leadership at this company itself, and I was talking to you about it earlier this morning. One of the interesting things you'll find in the group is that a lot of the leadership have been around for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. And I think where there's stable leadership, invariably you'll find stable level 1 and level 2, because leadership fluctuations often mean fluctuations of the levels below, because they typically take the people they're used to working with them and they leave. So I think the stable leadership has helped, and the stable management has helped. The confidence in the investor and our ability to withstand this storm definitely has helped as well. The fact that the leadership through this crisis stayed connected, therefore, with their teams below, it's, as you'll appreciate, a sort of cycle, in terms of getting things done, reviews, what can we do, and things like that. I think that has also helped keep people together, and has also helped give the confidence for the rebound, because that core team has stayed together. In terms of our ability to attract, I think the complete emphasis on over communication and transparency has also been sort of a cultural benchmark. Since 2012, clearly, we've also been focusing on innovation and adaptation. And I think, to the point on how we adapted to the pandemic, I think that was an example of how we were able to do that in action. People and teamwork, I think, again, something that we've used to our advantage in the past. And I think the pandemic again reinforced the need for that to happen. Yeah, so I absolutely cannot emphasize the importance of loyal customers. I think our ability to bounce back has also been, the reality that we've had a lot of loyal customers who are happy to travel with us again. So all this and our ability to bounce back and the speed at which we bounced back and got active, I think has also helped us get the talent back faster than most. I think see, loyalty is an end result, right? It's not something that it happens automatically. This is coming from us being in business since 1881. Building businesses over time, and I think this culture of not shying away from challenges, talking to difficult customers, even if they are making what may seem unreasonable demands. The fact that we've had strong leadership and the focus on this strategy, I think the focus on customer centricity and customer experience, for example, building an omni-channel experience, which we've really invested in significantly, especially since 2015. Talking about this whole pure click, pure brick, and this whole hybrid market that's India, especially for high value travel, uh, is again an instance of us really looking at how customers really behave in this environment, in this category, and looking at how we can better serve them. And I think that has also helped. We've done a fair bit of innovation at every stage. Forex is a classic example where we've innovated right through, and today, we're probably among the largest foreign exchange providers, competing right up there with banks. Um, in terms of what we did during the pandemic, and as well, I think it's important to call out that part of why we were able to bring back those customers, loyal customers, back to take those decisions to travel with us again, where we are today already able to do 150 odd groups to Europe and so on, uh, where most other of our competitors have not even done a first group. I think is also because not only did we stay in touch, I spoke about Assured. We also extended it on the basis of the other two big concerns customers had, which was one was prevention, where I spoke of Assured. The second was about what if something happens when I'm traveling. So we actually innovated even in the space of insurance, where we took what was traditionally a push product that nobody really bought. Travel insurance was something you really had to force down on customers, saying it was for their own good. To with our insurance partner, ICICI Lombard, actually innovate to be the first to have COVID insurance up to 100% of sum assured. Uh, Second, to ensure that when things eased off and the regulations sort of changed, also allow the insurance to cover hotel quarantine when that was becoming sort of a need. Because if you're tested positive, then you went into hotel quarantine, and traditional insurance didn't cover something that didn't involve hospitalization in the true sense of the word. So we actually covered hotel quarantine, and then even home quarantine, which is again a first of its kind. Today we are again the first in the market to offer insurance with even people with pre-existing conditions. Nobody else does this. So the point I'm making is even in what is typically considered uninnovatable, for lack of a better word, I don't think there's a word like that, but
Yeah.
it makes the point. We actually innovated. The third piece, and again building on what we realized customers were concerned about coming out of the pandemic, was, is my money safe? So the catchphrase we used was assured, insured, secured. The secured part was really about saying, how do I ensure and communicate that customers' money is safe? We did that in three different ways. One is to tell people it was going to be free rescheduling. So if you had to reschedule to a later date, no problem, no charge. Second was that we could allow free cancellation. And the third, in addition to refunds, if you insisted, was the option to travel now and pay when you return. We did this by tying up with a fintech NBFC, which used technology and Aadhaar verification seamlessly to almost on the fly sort of give customer a travel loan, which was granted to the extent of the value of the holiday. Without sinking their own money, they would take this. It was a zero cost EMI option where you could choose between 3, 6, and 12 months and pay after you returned. So from a customer standpoint, this was brilliant, because if you really didn't want to take the risk with your money, here was your ability to do that holiday, fully realize the value that you were investing, and then without actual cost at all, pay back in EMIs. So what we were doing in each of these instances was really thinking about what we as a customer would think about, and this was resonating in our surveys as well. All of us in the communication space, I think we actually ourselves reaffirmed our belief in the power of communication. I think simply the value of not shying away from those calls, reaching out to customers proactively before they ask for the money, telling them that we were here, we knew we had so much of your money, we were always going to return it if you insisted, but you know, uh, we'd really prefer you kept it with us for your holiday after, because as I said, cash conservation was crucial. The fact that most customers trusted us and left their money with us very often for over a year, right? And in some cases, rare cases, for over 2.5 years before they actually used it, is I think a demonstration of not just trust but the power of communication. Because I don't think that would have happened if we hadn't stayed in touch. If we weren't the ones reaching out, if we weren't the ones answering the calls. And I think also all that we did after we restarted, giving customers the option to take a domestic holiday, even if they had booked an international holiday, to start using up the money that was with us, right? Give customers the confidence that we genuinely meant to give them the value. I'd argue that almost everything I said has got clear relevance across sectors. It's not unique to the travel space. If you get into product specific, yes, maybe it may be specific to a category, but whether it is about the importance of a strong shareholder, confidence, teamwork, staying in touch, over communicating, clarity of purpose, innovating and adapting to a challenging dynamic environment as the pandemic presented. um, you know, the strength of partnerships and how important it is to have strong partnerships, as we did with airlines and hotels, that helped us get back as quickly. Most importantly, the importance of building loyalty with customers, because meaning all of this is great, but if customers don't come back to you after all this, it won't help at all. So yes, I think I'd argue that almost everything I said is fungible across industries.
Yeah.